Let us discuss about types of RNA. So, as you can see in the representation, I have divided RNA in two categories like coding and non-coding RNA. In the coding section, the major name is messenger RNA, and in non-coding section, you can see various names, even ribosomal RNA and tRNA also in that category. So, beside protein coding RNAs, there are different type of non-coding RNAs that modulate complex molecular and cellular processes. These are called ncRNAs. RNA sequencing technologies and bioinformatics method greatly prompted the study of ncRNAs, which revealed ncRNA's essential role in diverse aspects of biological functions. An important key player in gene regulatory network, that's ncRNAs, work with other biomolecules including coding and non-coding RNAs, DNAs and proteins. Since the discovery of ribosomal RNA and transfer RNA in the late 1950s, variety of RNA species have gradually surfaced, which revealed an unsuspected non-coding world. The combination of large-scale sequencing and computational analysis greatly helped to understand the RNA world. In general, ncRNAs, or we can say non-coding RNAs, are found to participate in multiple biological functions, regulate physiological and developmental processes, or even diseases. They have been identified as tumor suppressors and oncogenic drivers in various cancer types. In plant, ncRNAs have emerged as key regulatory molecule in stress responses. Till now, we have only gone through three types of RNAs, that is mRNA, ribosomal RNA and tRNA. But in coming lectures, we will also discuss about these non-coding RNAs. But first, we will again go for the structural feature of our major RNA forms, that is mRNA, ribosomal RNA and tRNA. First comes mRNA. All nuclear encoded eukaryotic messenger RNAs possess a 5' cap structure. Here you can see the cap structure and a poly A tail. These modifications are added as part of mRNA processing pathway during or immediately after transcription in the nucleus. And as you well know that mRNA are produced from DNA by the process of transcription. Poly A cap and a 5' cap and poly A tail subsequently influence different aspects of mRNA metabolism, including splicing, transport, stability and translation. The cap structure has an important role during the initiation phase of translation as it recruits ribosome and associated factors to the messenger RNA. After 5' cap, here the 1 is representing the starting position from where protein transcription will start. Then there are two sections you will be seeing, exon and intron, exon, intron, exon. So after splicing process, this is structure of pre-mRNA. After splicing process, these exons will be excised and these introns will be excised and exons will be spliced together to form a complete coding segment, and this mRNA will be called mature mRNA. The poly A tail can stimulate translation and cooperate with the cap structure with the cap structure in a synergistic function. The eukaryotic initiation factor EIF4G play a central part as a multifunctional adapter which brings together various components of translation adapter, resulting in pseudocircular structure of mRNA that is thought to have important functional consequence for the translation process. The importance of poly-A tail is further underscored by the fact that the regulated variation of its length on maternal mRNA is an integral part of gene regulation during oocyte maturation and in early embryonic development. Finally, the majority of cellular mRNAs are degraded by processes that are interconnected with translation and are initiated by poly-A tail shortening. So, to make it more simpler, cap and tail both perform very major function in the translation process. In this segment of translation, the green section is representing coding section, but other than coding section, we can see two more sections which are represented as 5-UTR and 3-UTR. 5-UTR exists before the starting portion for the protein translation, and 3-UTR stays between poly-A tail and the position of stop codon. These UTRs will be part of mature mRNA but will not be part of protein in ultimate structure. They possess major role in the folding and signaling of protein molecule. Now here is a picture which is representing the initiation phase of translation shown in eukaryotic mRNA with the two typical end modification, the 5' structure and the poly-A tail structure. The protein coding open reading frame is marked by a start, and here is start and a stop codon. An early step in initiation is the binding of eukaryotic initiation factor 4 F complex consisting of 4E, here is 4E, 4G and 4A to the cap structure. 4A simulated by 4B, here is 4B, unwinds secondary structure in the 5-UTR. Here is 5-UTR. The interaction of the poly-A binding protein with 4G leads to circularization of mRNA, as you can see here. In the next step, the small ribosomal subunit 40S with associated initial factor, eukaryotic initiation factor F2, F3 and methionine initiator tRNA is recruited to the mRNA. This is 43S complex, then move along or scan the mRNA in 3' direction, this way. It will move toward this way, like this. The codon-anticodon interaction of the initial tRNA methionine, which will be at AUG, then identifies the start codon, which led to release of these additional initiation factor, that is F2 and F3, and binding of large ribosomal subunit 60S. Here it is represented. The complete ribosome is now poised for polypeptide synthesis. So although it seems that messenger RNA is quite simple in structure, it is mere chain of nucleotide, but it performs extensively an essential role in cell, that is protein synthesis. And with the help of this picture, I tried to uh, make your concept clear that how this thing initiates and moves on.